And I know at least a half a dozen male comics that would have taken Troy Walker's paper and ripped it up right in front of him. They wouldn't have even bothered today. Didn't feel like memorizing. They would have just go, "You're not going to need this."
Thanks for your
And 5 minutes later, they would have been talking like Minnie Mouse while they tried to remember their material. Hi.
Okay, well, we'll be
Denver's better joke writers is going to be on the show tonight.
We're definitely streaming on the YouTube. Won't be streaming on the Facebook. Can't figure out how to do them both at the same time.
That makes me.
Yeah, I think you can only do one at a time from Zoom.
You know, and welcome to the ApocaLips Comedy Show. Starting in just a moment, the virtual audience is loading into the showroom.
Did you get my
just
email
getting
with the
people
audio
ready to
files,
come
or am I
in.
reading them?
Is that couple still fighting?
That couple is still fighting.
Hello?
When they come in here every week and they can't seem to get their shit together before the show starts. I don't understand it. Couldn't you just say, "Hey, let's put a pin in this"? You know, I know you want a baby. I'm shooting blanks. It's a difficult problem to solve. Why can't we just watch the comedy show?
I need to tell you something. Did you get my audio files, or am I supposed to read my thing? I don't know what my cues
might
are.
have to read them. I'm still working on getting your audio files incorporated. And now that I think about it, I pushed the wrong button for the screen share. It'll take me a second to make that work. But a little flexibility, appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. So like, what are my cues if I have to read it?
You'll see a radio pop on the screen, and there's a shit ton more of them than we had planned.
Honey.
Oh, wait, what?
Stop.
So like,
there's more of them than we planned. I really got way into the radios.
Are there people in the, am I in the house right now, or am I in the green room?
I believe you're in the house right now.
Yeah, you're
cruising
you're
our
in the
way
house, but we're not on
stepping on the yard.
We're not on view for everybody.
Gladys will be here to check in.
So I can like figure out where I'm putting my camera right now. Is that okay?
You could if you want to. That's for sure.
Welcome, Mary. Aboard.
Hey, Mary.
Our super awesome customer. And
does Mary know about Gladys?
Always thanks to Jill Peterson, Mary Ellen Lovejoy. These are made up names, gang. We didn't sell a VIP ticket today. But we sold wonderful tickets to nice people that benefit Elevating Connections, right? If you're watching on the YouTube, I'm Chuck, and I'm the guy up here in the square. And then I'm going to see if I can't find Stacy before we start the show. Just Stacy, can you tell the kids a little bit about Elevating Connections? Some of the ticket money goes towards your terrific organization.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck. I'm the founder and executive director of Elevating Connections. We reunite siblings separated in foster care, and we're about to have our day camp in a couple of weeks because we can't do overnight camp because of COVID. But siblings get separated in foster care for all sorts of reasons, and one of our jobs is to help bring them back together. And the other piece we do that Chuck has been really instrumental in Power to Comedy shows is raising youth voice. We had a really successful poetry jam thanks to Chuck, and we're doing some other great stuff coming up later this fall with Chuck in comedy and spoken word. And because of Chuck, we raise more money than we ever have at the poetry jam. So thank you.
Man, we did it. We totally did it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And lots of money raised through this venue too. So I'm super grateful. Power to Comedy shows is raising youth voice.
Awesome. So I'm glad, Stacy, that you're here. And, you know, we'll talk more during the show.
Yes.
We'll get cruising into the showroom. If you've never been to our comedy show, please note that we do have a bar. The bar is your bar. So it's fully stocked with whatever you've got available. And if you don't know what to drink, if you're a little confused, we do have a bar service available to you. So our bartenders will gladly pour whatever you've got.
That's right. I don't know if you noticed it, but that was Lin-Manuel Miranda pouring drinks here tonight. And,
yes.
If you were to order some bourbon, he wouldn't miss your shot.
Right. We are here, everybody. We're trying to employ as many out-of-work actors as possible.
As we can.
As we cruise into the showroom, please be reminded that our bathrooms are unisex bathrooms. In fact, there any sex bathrooms, because they're your bathrooms. You have whatever sex you want. It's your time. All right. So wash your hands, dirty people and clean people and everybody. Let's cruise on into the ApocaLips Comedy Showroom. We're about to start the show. VIP seating is down on the lower level. Please use social distancing. Keep yourself 6 feet away from all the other cool VIPs. And of course, we do have balcony seating. Mike's friends from Michigan are there, not wearing masks, and outdoing any Trump rally as far as numbers go. So good job, Mike. You really that search engine.
Well, you know what?
Lesson.
I'm a draw. I'm a draw in Michigan. People will come out to see me. In fact, many of them will carry guns as they come out to see me. It's close. They're closely related concepts. We have Blondie from the comic strips waiting tables in the balcony.
Right, out of work but needed something to do. And
absolutely. She's making a dang good sandwich and back for you if you'd like.
Thanks to the Paycheck Protection Act, we're able to keep Blondie employed. So way to go, everybody. And a few minutes late, that's our new thing. We used to start on time, but without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, would you a nice round of applause for the ApocaLips Comedy Show. Thank you, everybody. There's Mike Langworthy, your host on stage. Mike, I'm going to spotlight you so the nice people at the YouTube can see you. Apparently, you brought your Golden Globe. That's handy.
Oh, yes. I just, for some reason, I can't seem to get it off my hand.
Right. So we're going to hang out with your Golden Globe today. And today's show is sponsored by Wear a Mask, Please. Look at that, Mike. You've cruised in with your Ferrari. That's this. Thanks. You must really appreciate this sponsor.
I do. I more than most people because I'm in a high-risk group. And
right. Back with us, second week in a row. Would you please wear a mask, everybody? Look at you, Mike. You're doing all the spin outs, really cruising with that Ferrari. So thanks for putting on a show. Hopefully,
not very many people can drive with a globe in one hand and a champagne flute in the other hand and do a 360 and then just drive off.
That's why you won a Golden Globe, Mike. You are talented, a talented comedy writer, talented Ferrari driver, talented virtual comedy show host.
It always brings up the question when you say that, is it talent or is it skill? So I just wondered. Anyway, hey, what's going on here? This is our rewrite room. All of a sudden we're here.
We're here in the writing room. Every episode of the ApocaLips Comedy Show starts in our writing room. And today, Mike and I were wondering, we thought, it's summertime, so why not take all of you on a virtual road trip? So
before we do that, could I mention just one thing that's in the room?
Please, Mike.
It's in the back.
It's totally
up against the window.
Oh, gosh. I can't. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, my God.
Please excuse me, everybody. I think I've left my Kennedy
what?
Center
It's beginning to look like self-promotion. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, gang, there on the table in the center of your screen, it's very fragile, please be careful, is my Kennedy Center Award for Innovation in Teaching, a 2020. That's current, y'all, award for innovation in teaching. So I get that you have a Golden Globe, Mike. I guess I have a Kennedy Center Award, but let's take your Golden Globe and our gang on a virtual road trip. You can watch Colorado comedy shows on YouTube, and we're streaming live right there, right now, buddy.
And there's the only person connected with the show today that has a clue what this car is.
Right. Look at this dog, everybody. Here's our classic ambassador, an AMC Rambler Corporation.
Rambler ambassador.
Mike, I'll drive. You, I guess, can take the passenger seat. Does anybody want to call back seat, middle, over the hump? Is there anybody?
I just want to kick back and fiddle with the radio while we're out.
You could just throw me in the trunk.
Well, Emily, Cornelia.
Back seat so I can throw my legs out.
Doing a little research for her next documentary on serial killers. She wants to be in the front.
Emily and Norman are the youngest, so you two have to go in the back seat facing the wrong direction. And
Norman, I do not want to see you with your finger a half-inch from Emily's face saying that you're not touching her. Do not do that.
So we'll put the lady Hovises in the back row. We'll tie Jake to the top. right? That'll.
Try to put him in the middle of the car so all four wheels will touch the ground, please.
He's an amicable guy. He'll work hard on this. So I think we've got a good strategy, Mike. That's let's get the car loaded up. Take a good look at from the driver's side window. Just crashing. I see where Megan O'Neill is about to join us, so I'm thrilled to see her. And then seems like the air in this station wagon, Mike, is just refreshing.
The air is a little thick, wouldn't you say?
No.
You got something hanging from the mirror. It's a Kennedy Center. It's a
What's
Kennedy
that?
Center air freshener.
What's that smell, Mike? That's the smell of victory, is what I think
That is the smell of a gunshot in Dallas, right there. Or as his brother would say, "Hey guys, let's cut through the kitchen. It's faster."
Probably want to turn on the radio station here, Mike.
Yeah, let's just push this button and see what happens.
Well, let's pray to God. Vaughn, you're gonna have to.
This program brought to you by Mike Langworthy's homemade pomade. He makes it himself in his basement using a secret process. What's that smell? He'll never tell. It might be sticky and a little bit icky, but it keeps your hair from being tricky. Side effects may include scalp crust, eyebrow farts, and hearing crickets. Mike Langworthy's homemade pomade, available at garage sales, dumpster fires, and bathroom stalls everywhere. Mike Langworthy's homemade pomade. Buy now!
Thank you. And I still have a couple of college loans that aren't paid off, so I really would appreciate.
Right. Well, now that we're started on our trip, Mike, probably want to check the
hang on.
What's in the rear view mirror there, Mike?
Chuck, can't go forward.
Mike, there's no way you would have taken my Kennedy Center Award out of the trunk and put it on the side of the road.
I can't. I refuse to answer that question.
You're a jerk, Mike. You're jealous of my award. You better go get it.
All right.
Okay. You bring that back here.
You want it back?
Yes, bring it back.
Fine.
Mike.
Fine. You're just lucky there wasn't anybody driving on the other side, because that is a very fragile award.
Is beautiful mountain roads. This is what it looks like wherever you drive in Denver. On every street corner, we're surrounded by gorgeous Rocky Mountains. Mike, it's probably time to just change the station. And
I think we should. Let's see what else is on.
Let's bring up our first comedian. This should be quite the blast from the past. Would you give a nice round of applause? She's joined us. I wonder if she even knows that she's first.
Does she know she's on the show tonight?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
I'm sure. You know what? She's a tall drink of water and a deep gulp of laughs. Please welcome Megan O'Neill.
Hey!
Hey! Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was quite a surprise that I was going to be up first. I'm glad you said that loud enough. I was in the other room putting on a nice shirt, at least. You know how interviews go. We don't need nice pants anymore. We gotta go.
You don't.
But yeah, we're in for a fun day. I'll admit I'm a little out of practice with comedy. I've been hanging out in home just about all day, every day with dogs. Not crazy yet. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I've been keeping busy with work and I'm so out of practice. I think I'm just going to treat this like another day at preschool. I hope everybody's okay with it.
Well,
so just really fast, let me just get used to my the things I normally say in class. So if I say 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, I'm gonna hear 1, 2, 3,
eyes on you.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it.
Great job.
Could you do 3, 1, 2 eyes on you, sort of for symmetry's purposes?
See, Zoom schooling is easy.
Yeah, you know what? It's sounding just like my preschool class. Can't keep them focused. It's so I'll just do that for like 5 minutes. I hope that's okay for my set tonight.
That's fine.
No, not okay.
Opinions of the
Good.
bubble.
The bubble. Answer the bubble. Yeah, everybody catch a bubble. Give yourself a big hug because you've earned it. And gosh darn it, people like you. I don't know. And then usually this is the point where I get distracted. The like hyperactive kid just decides to hop up from the carpet and like walks to the back of the room because they want to get the scissors out. And got to interject, be like, hey, where are you going? And how do we walk with scissors, first of all? Like, always got to make sure safety first. None of these kids know what they're doing. They're just so excited to be holding scissors, even though I told them they can't. Then they'll go to their cubby, grab out their stuffy. Can't have that out till nap time. It's just constant bickering. I am going crazy, aren't I? Are you cool with this? Are we doing this? Oh,
You're doing
good.
great.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving it. Yeah.
Loving it?
Yeah. I'm so
Great.
glad you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. How are you liking the show so far, big guy?
Oh.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Takes a second. He's a slow one, but he knows when to answer. Oh, good. We're getting distracted by the front door. Okay. It's not me at all. I'm not that funny. Bummer. But yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Preschool kids are always distracted. I try to tell them when they need to go potty, I tell them they got to hold it if we're outside on the playground. So I feel like I'm primed and ready for a long road trip with 3-4-year-olds, but we'll see. It's hard enough doing 8 hours a day with them. Maybe talking out of my ass. Goodness gracious. Do you ever catch yourself just so close to pulling all of your hair out when you're trying to have like a logical conversation with somebody, especially a child? Like, I'll just sit there on the carpet. I'm like, okay, you're sitting quietly. You can go sit down at a table now. And then they look back at me. They're like, I don't want to. Just kidding. You guys are all restless from sitting here. I'm trying to teach you like that cooking's important for you, and then you don't want to get up anymore. Like, and everybody's losing. I'm losing my mind here. You guys are all playing with your masks now. Nobody's thinking about school. I'm not thinking about school. I'm thinking about who's gonna pick their nose next. I've got such a sniper eye for it now. Just the moment I see this and like no fingernail, like, okay, stop right there. It's like, I can't blame them though. Like every time, like I'm done with the day, caught so many kids picking their noses, I jump into my car and I just go to work. It's such a relief. And then the most like rewarding feeling is when you like pick your nose and you pull out a piece of art. It's just so magnificent. It's in lovely swirl, assorted colors. It's really impressive. And you want to keep it. And I don't know, does anybody else have a headboard of a private gallery? Yeah? No? Probably not. That's gross. Do that. Do that. Yes. It's wonderful though. Such a relief. Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see. I hope we're all here for a good time, not a long time. I'm catching my dogs getting into some really nasty stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Chuck.
All
Thank
right,
you so
Megan
much.
O'Neill, everybody, and Lord knows what the dog is into.
Megan O'Neill.
Right?
Good.
Very good, very funny.
Yes, very good. Hey, do you do those kids in your apartment now?
Mike, you have to rephrase that a different way.
Yes.
Please.
I asked the questions. You answer it how you want to.
Well, let's change the mode on that one and see if we can't change the dial over to, another fantastic star of American comedy. Mike, perhaps we get a rear window view of the of the show.
Yes, look at this. This is right. Even though we're in Colorado, we're able to see a courtyard in New Orleans. Because
is that New Orleans?
How
do you know that? How
you may have noticed a man with dyed blonde hair in the third floor window on the other side of the courtyard. And if I didn't have a broken leg, I would go over there and see what he's doing right now.
So this is what happens. I looked for a rear view window picture, and up comes the title of this famous Hitchcock movie. And right away I was like, damn it, I know Mike is going to know 9 million things about this movie I know nothing about. I'm an idiot. And here comes genius. And turns out, who are the stars, Mike? Tell us all about it.
This Rear Window was a movie made by Alfred Hitchcock in the 50s, and it starred Jimmy Stewart as a man with a broken leg who was a photographer. He was very, very difficult to deal with until he got a long lens, so that he could look at the courtyard on the other side, just in time to see a blonde man who looked remarkably like Ironside beat the shit out of somebody and possibly kill him.
Wow.
So he sends his girlfriend, Grace Kelly, over, and oddly enough, she meets a prince from Monaco while she's over there, and he rescues her from being killed. And the next thing you know, she's dying on the same road that she drove a hairpin turn on in To Catch a Thief. So it's really kind of a full circle approach to telling the story of Rear Window.
All right, 235 things for you to Google in just 1 second, everybody.
Yeah.
Mike Langworthy on the
Just
show.
because I don't get caught out doesn't mean I'm right.
Yeah, he could be saying anything, everybody, and I'd be like, okay.
Hey, wait, Chuck. She was a royal. Grace Kelly was a royal, and our next performer,
a royal from your terrific comedy show.
Yep.
You met this guy Monday nights. You host the open mic, and
yep.
A frequent performer, and we said we got to have Norman do the ApocaLips. The nice people on the ApocaLips should meet this kid. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please meet Norman Royal.
Norman Royal, ladies and gentlemen, Go.
Anybody else getting sick of this COVID-19 shit?
No.
I mean, for me,
not at all.
I found out recently that COVID-19 is being found in men's semen. Anybody else heard about that shit? It's crazy to think that some guy out there is going to have to make that awkward phone call the next day. Next to nothing, all because you couldn't man up and just put on the fucking mask.
Well, they're calling it a mask now.
And in doubt, have your little buddy about. But next to nothing, don't worry. I mean, if anything can get any worse, just know that if two crackheads meet each other, it's going to be known as speed dating. People ask me, why don't you do midget jokes? You want to know why I don't do fucking midget jokes? Realistically, there's not enough ground to cover. Have you seen really how far they can get? I mean, ultimately, it's like a cube way of thinking, isn't it? Too small to really attach anything. Ultimately, in the end, just not that big of a topic.
So you're short on jokes, is what you're saying.
I'm coming at you.
Small-minded.
Oh, hello.
I lived with a girl one time that had a bidet, and she would rant and rave about using it. How fresh I feel, how great it feels. You have to use the bidet. I used it one time, sat down, turned it on low, and it made me almost feel like somebody was kind of flicking my balls. I thought, well, maybe I'm doing it
Yeah,
wrong.
look at the meat.
I mean, something doesn't feel right. So I turned it all the way up. Bad idea. That shit shot out of there faster than Spider-Man's web. It shot out of there at a speed that made Nerf look like shit. Oh yeah. Smacking and glazing against my tape. Almost like a slip and slide. It was smacking my balls at the way out. Almost like waddling like Sylvester Stallone's neck.
I'm at the end of the show. Yeah.
Next to nothing. I mean, the whole experience left me pondering the thought. Maybe it's all right for her, but for me, it almost felt like the toothless granny just blow drying my nuts.
Oh.
Never had I had to white so much. I'm just saying, guys should not be damped, that damped down there. It's uncomfortable. Why do people have to be immortalized? I don't understand. Why do you got to live out your time? Like, I understand being forever remembered, but isn't that for family only? The person that invented the Frisbee cremated himself and turned himself into a Frisbee. I mean, talk about realistically being passed around more than a goddamn Kardashian.
Is it a frisbee or a boomerang that comes back? Or is
I
it
had
a
to check that one
Kardashian?
off. Top box cereal characters are fucking insane. If you put them in the real world, I imagine it's some proverbial twisted version of Sesame Street. I mean, you got Toucan Sam and Coco Puff smack crackling and popping down the alleyway.
Hello.
Remember the old advertisements of the toucan flying through some fucking jungle of some shit, right? Follow your nose. Now he's soaring through the alleyways looking for some blow. They got 6-foot fucking man-eating tigers, almost like Joe Exotic versions, hanging on the wrong side of the fence. I'm not talking about like they're, hey, tigers. I'm talking about predator tigers. I mean, there's a Dateline special for someone, right? Take a seat. Why are you here? They're great. I mean, next to nothing, if you're going to fucking really have any of them touch on little kids or prey upon little kids, it's got to be that little lucky guy, right? Always having them chasing through some Hansel and Gretel-like scenarios.
Yeah.
Seems very dark times, right? I mean, next to nothing, if you're going to market and brand a cereal towards little kids, it's best not to have your mascot named Lucky and his slogan state, they're after me, Lucky Charms. Complexity. That's my time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
I gotta go take a piss now. I'm out.
Thank you.
Right? Royal?
Norman.
We're not pulling over to the rest area until later, Norman.
God damn it.
Norman,
I can't hold it.
you have to
Hold
hold it. You have to
I got a
hold
beer
it.
can. I can do it.
Hey,
Let's
Just as long
while
as it
we're waiting
doesn't
for the
slip.
next performer, why don't we see what's on the radio?
Mike, I think we gotta cruise over to.
Oh my God,
Okay.
sorry.
And,
I just want everybody to remember that I'm in the passenger seat. That's a glass of wine, but I'm not driving.
right.
You see a hand with a weed bowl in it, that'll be Chuck.
I wonder if Vaughn took your audio cue and is able to deliver another fantastic radio announcement on the spot. He's
Okay. Let's see.
This program sponsored in part by the March of Crimes. Not the March of Dimes, the March of Crimes. The March of Crimes is the preeminent for-profit organization leading the fight for the health of our personal bank accounts. Funded by concerned, community-oriented pimps, prostitutes, and petty crooks everywhere. But don't think you, the average Joe, can't get in on the fun. Go out and grift the Girl Scouts, rip off your reverend, embezzle everything. Just don't get caught, and remember to send us some of the money. Do it now.
Vaughn Sprecken, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you.
Terrific and talented radio announcer. Cheers to you, my friend.
Sounds like Red Baba.
Thank you for rocking and rolling with those. If there's any way you could continue to do that, that is so funny.
Everyone mind, I'd like you to go into your parents' room and take $1 out of their wallet and send it to Chuck Roy.
Right.
care
Mike,
of.
coming up is a comedian who used to respect me before I created this crazy show we got going. And
Did he respect you or say he respected you?
I
'Cause
think
there's
so.
lots of difference.
We've invited him back. He's terrific on both the open mic and he's
Yeah.
been super fun at the ApocaLips. And so, I think it's time we bring him back. Would you please welcome Mr. Chris Fonseca, everybody? Here's
Fonseca, ladies
Chris
and gentlemen.
Fonseca.
How y'all doing? I'd like to
Well-
thank you for tying a rope to the back of the station wagon so I could pull my wheelchair behind y'all. Although it did hurt when I got smacked in the face by a Kennedy Center award. Yeah, there's a saying that if it has wheels or tits, it's gonna give you problems. That's very offensive to a guy in a wheelchair with man boobs. I have traveled all over the country doing comedy. I was down in Florida in the 80s and I actually got to swim with the dolphins. Ooh.
Wow.
Dan Marino grabbed my ass. I am very patriotic. Last 4th of July, I did something very American. I took my kids to Mexico. When you cross the border into Mexico, you have to pay a quarter. Ooh. It's like Mexico has a cover charge. I tried to cheat. I went right up to the border and I said, "Can I see if my friend is in there?" But, Norman was talking about cereal. I would like to put Colin Kaepernick's picture on that crunchy cereal box and then call it the Captain and the Neil.
Oh no!
I recently watched Hamilton, and to try to make it a more authentic experience, has paid a scalper $1,000 for a Disney Plus password. I noticed there's a coin shortage in our country. I think that's because when Obama left, he took all the hope and change. And of course, people are up in arms about the president pardoning so many people, but I think it's just makes sense because if he didn't finish a sentence, why should his friends have to?
Oh.
Ooh.
But I think that's all I got for tonight.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris
Oh, nice job.
Very funny. Very funny.
Yep.
Always.
Always funny. He took not only the hope and our change, ladies and gentlemen. I really like that. Jokes are a dime a dozen with that. Although they're now only 10 for a dime because we have a change shortage. You know that.
Right.
In my head, that was funny.
You gotta go to the credit. Oh man, you really ruined your joke and mine.
that joke was so bad I made Chuck stutter.
Right, you gotta get your change jokes at the credit union. So
I'm not saying no. It's, you know what, I've learned, never go back, Chuck.
they cost you a dime and you'll be on a roll. I'm not.
Oh, hello.
I will go. I will turn this car around, Mike Langworthy.
You better.
You better. That's
really. Now we're going.
Right
now we're moving in a positive direction.
You know what? I will turn
an iron,
Mister. We will get right to
look back where we came from.
Probably. I'm not sure how this bit goes, but we achieved it. I think.
Our next performer, Chuck.
Mike.
There's a little town I like to call I Left My Heart In.
Right.
It's right next to San Francisco.
There's a little town I call I Left My Heart On. Thank you.
Hello. You know what? We were keeping it on a high plane, and then you come in and you became the high plane drifter. You drifted us right.
Those ramblers.
Right. What I said was right. And did I stutter?
I was hydroplaning, buddy.
Yes, you were. That's how come you turned the car around.
Right. Well,
and Phil probably was thinking that once his name came up, he'd be starting to tell jokes.
Right.
He doesn't know it very well, does he?
Probably his first time on the show if he thinks, he's going up.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, it is Phil's first time on the show. This is the first time Phil's been out of San Francisco virtually.
Right. New to us, and so glad he introduced himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Phil Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
Phil Johnson. Phil Drummer Johnson.
Here we are. I told my girlfriend, I said, I got to go do a show. She doesn't think I'm a comedian anymore. She assumes I'm a cam girl now. So that's staring at the camera 24 hours a day. I've been trying to not gain weight while we've been doing this quarantine thing. So I've been using this food tracker app where you track everything you eat. The problem is it asks for all the measurements in grams. And I'm like, ooh, Americans, not good with the metric system. Grams are drugs, liters are soda. We're lost after that. We got nothing. They need to ask for measurements that Americans understand. A buttload, a shit ton, and hella.
Yeah.
We all know how it works, right? 2 buttloads equals a shit ton. 3 shit tons equals hella. That's how it works. How many lentils did you eat? Hella lentils. But see, being Americans, we don't have any words for small quantities. We only have words for big quantities. You might pretend on St. Patrick's Day you're going to have a wee bit of beer, but we all know that's a shit ton of beer, all right? Don't lie. But I will tell you this. We white people, we do have words for small quantities because sometimes we have to describe small things, all right? Like we have a smidge or a skosh, right? White ladies, you might have a smidge of chocolate or a skosh of penis. Right? Just a skosh, just a little. Any more than that, and it goes straight to my butt. But those are definitely white people words. You can't imagine Kendrick Lamar asking for a smidge or Gucci Mane asking for a skosh. But Eminem, totally. Drake, maybe.
Definitely.
Kanye, if he's off his meds. Kanye's the only person I've seen who is, when he's off his meds, gets both blacker and whiter at the same time. It's amazing.
Hello.
But those are definitely white people words. If you're not a white person, you don't have access to words like smidge and skosh. There's a workaround. You can say something is hella small. That is like multiplying hella by a number less than 1. It works. It's mathematical. So when you get your paycheck, you can go, damn, that's hella small. That's how it works. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't have any kids. My girlfriend and I, we don't have any kids, which is kind of a shame because she loves to watch people fall down. But because we don't have kids, that means I can never grow up to be one of those old guy comedians complaining about, oh, kids these days. Because at some point, I'm probably going to have to hire some of those kids to change my diapers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I don't shit on them, so they'll help when I shit on myself. All right? It's not just a joke, it's a retirement plan. That's what it is. I don't need them coming in going, hey, remember that bit you used to do about how the younger generation sucks? It's funny. Here's some of your pills. No. All bad news. But there's always been generational conflict. Every generation thinks the generation before them is backwards and the generation after them is lazy and soft. Like, think about the kids growing up in the 1950s. With their World War II parents going, oh, the kids today with their sock hops and their polio vaccines. When we were young, we had polio. We walked it off. Built character. I mean, of course, that was before our modern era of medicine that we have now, where we cure everything with thoughts and prayers. Can't deny all the double-blind studies that have been done on the subject, you guys. But then you think about those World War II kids growing up in the 1930s with their parents in the 30s, right? Their parents going, the kids today with their monster movies and their tampons. When we were young, we faced our own demons and rode a more absorbent horse.
Okay.
Built character in the horse.
Yeah.
Now we have the alpha generation. The alpha generation is everybody born since 2010, and there's a good chance that the alpha generation is never going to experience cancer, which is amazing. And all of us are going to be like, psh, when I was your age, I carved out my own tumor with an iPhone 6. Not the 6 Plus, mind you, the base model. You'll never know what it's like to carve out your own pancreas with a cracked screen, youngin'. Grandpa, that's amazing. How did you get the tumor? From my iPhone 6.
Ooh.
Grandpa, I heard that they used to cure cancer with something called keto. Oh no, that's chemo. Chemo is it's just as fun. And the people that are doing chemo talk less about it. I'm gonna do a song before we run out of time. You guys have been fun. I'm gonna do just a quick little breakup song. This is a breakup song, but it's the good kind of breakup. You know, when you wish the other person well. I wish only the best for you, and I wish for your happiness too, and I wish for your new boyfriend Steve, motherfucking Steve, to have his nutsack torn wide open in a chainsaw accident. Doesn't take it off, but just opens it right up. So he has to chase his testicles as they're rolling down the driveway while he bleeds out. And I hope that you see them and think, oh my God, I had those in my mouth. Cause that's where I found them when I found out you don't love me anymore.
Oh.
Thanks a lot, you guys. PhilJohnsonComedy.com. So we can get all the stuff.
Phil Johnson,
Very good.
Right. Speaking of Johnson, probably time to go to the rest area, huh?
Norman.
He was
Norman,
great. Nice round of applause for
uh,
Phil Johnson, everybody.
Phil Johnson at philjohnson.com. And don't forget to go and see Norman Royal's thing as well. His page. He listed it up above. So make sure you go and check some of those out.
Over in the chat. Mike, here at the rest area, we'll give people time to pee, and maybe you and I can play a favorite game of toss the Golden Globe and see if Mike can catch it.
If I catch it, you have to take off that ridiculous hat.
Oh, wow. You're right. That's actually the solar panel, right? But good catch, buddy. Nice job.
Hey, do you think I could dematerialize it so that you could throw it to me again?
Potentially. Oh, wow. You are really you're quick with your dematerialization, my friend. And let me just throw that back. Good job. Nice work. Man, we got lots of people to thank, Mike. All the nice people out there in the YouTube world, will appreciate this. And we've also invited Emily Cornelius to help me get our thank you done.
Incidentally, those of you who are wondering, you're looking at Norma Shearer, and
to put them all up.
And her husband.
Right, Norma Shearer and her very fine husband. We want to thank Robert Cornelius. Thank you for purchasing a VIP ticket, Robert. Purchase a VIP ticket and you get special recognition in the show, just like this, right, Robert? We're so glad you are here. And
yes, Robert Cornelius. Oh, and don't forget this. This is the special gift that we have for our special performers.
Right, all of our VIP customers.
I'm sorry, I apologize for that, Chuck.
Excuse me. All of our VIP customers can just relax and soak in this bathtub. Sounds like we're filling the bathtub. We'll get the bathtub filled for you, and then we'll have some terrific comedy from Emily.
Chuck,
Cornelius.
I hate to make a pest of myself.
Well, you're pretty good at it, Mike.
But right next to the faucets, do you see what I see?
Gosh, I'm embarrassed. I do see what you see, and
you keep saying you're embarrassed, and yet it keeps showing up.
I can't, folks. VIP ticket holders, you get to relax and soak in your bathtub and enjoy a terrific view of my Kennedy Center Award for Innovation Teaching.
Not to mention
2020 Kennedy Center Award, American College Theater Festival, Region 7. That's the AITHA Award, the Academy
for Innovative Teaching.
Theater, Higher Education. There's a lot of acronyms in my award. You wouldn't believe how many. There's 2 acronyms, and I don't know the second one. You'll
it's not like you've had any time to learn it.
No,
God, no.
Right. I could read the whole.
You could move that and sit behind the faucet.
I do keep
tell your girlfriend that you have a stainless steel penis.
Right. On a daily basis, I read the proclamation, and I try to come up. We'll do the other gift. Then we're gonna go. Emily has a sweet presentation. Oh. Then even more gifts for our general admission audience members. So VIP customers. I don't know who said that, but that's an appropriate sound for our VIP customers like Robert Cornelius. You also get to imagine owning this really cool owl. Imagine him hanging out with you on your shoulder.
Just imagine the fun you can have intimidating small children with this. Critic the Owl. His name is actually Critic the Owl. And
who said something funny?
You think you are?
Now that I see you ready, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go right to Emily Cornelius with a fantastic presentation. Please welcome Emily Cornelius to the ApocaLips Comedy Show.
Hey guys, welcome to my road trip. As you can tell, my road trip starts in North Dakota. So as you can see, it is snowing here. And, you know, I was thinking for dinner, I would make a nice teeter tat casserole in the motel. But, you know, as all road trips do, we must head towards another destination. So, my next place that I decided would be a great place to visit would be hell. Because it will be, I've still got a jacket on because it's going to be a cold day in hell when the United States postal system ends. Not on my watch, ladies and gentlemen. No. How can I send love letters to you? How can I send you postcards from my road trip? No. So, you know, again, it's a road trip, so we got to leave hell. And I thought, what better place to follow up hell than Texas? And
We can look back fondly on.
I just, how could we forget Texas on a road trip? You know, how could we forget? Always remember the Alamo. That was a weird way to say that. But my favorite thing about this flag, which I think will be very interesting to some of the folks who live in Texas, is that it's also a mask. It'll protect you from the dust. And also that thing. My final place that I think everybody should drive to from Texas is Honolulu. You know, surf's up in Hawaii. I think everybody needs to visit this wonderful, wonderful place.
Here comes another wave.
You know, no, there isn't. No, there isn't. You know, I'm gonna dry off, and I think next time I'm staying home.
Oh, that's
Nice.
oh, a big round of applause for Emily Cornelius. Emily will not commit to the bit. One more time for Giuseppe the Owl. Hair slick back.
He was like, who was that?
He'll make
Also,
you,
thanks to my dad.
he'll make you a dead mouse.
Way to go, Robert Cornelius. Is that Dad? Do we call him Bob?
No, that's my dad as the VIP, but here doing helping me with my props is my lovely boyfriend.
So thank you to him as well.
And
props to you two. I really,
You know,
absolutely.
she gets to have a boyfriend, and her boyfriend gets to splash her face with water. And
Right.
broken everybody.
Broken hearts in the balcony, Mike. Lots of men just really wish they could be, you know, Mr. Cornelius.
No,
So,
there might be a couple of ladies up there who'd like to be a Mr. Cornelius.
Mike, today for our general admission guests, we have arranged a fantastic prize.
What is that prize, Chuck?
They get wind, Mike. That's a gift that blows. Let me tell you that, my friend. For right now,
people say that it blows, but I've never seen it break.
Right. Right now, if you purchase the general admission ticket, just soak it in. Remember the peace and calm and tranquility of this week. Throughout the week.
You know, we were going to go with breeze. People breeze, and I said, you know, it's not enough.
Yeah. Life's a breeze for you, our general admission fans.
It is a breeze for me, but I think wind, you know, as the association used to say back in the 60s, everybody knows it's windy. So you're getting an award. Thank you.
Got to admit, Mike, you know, everybody after the show tomorrow at 10 a.m. is going to get a reminder of their free gift. And secretly, everyone is going to get the bath, everybody, VIPs and general admission, because this picture wouldn't pixelate. Who knew? Who knew? So
we're upgrading everyone to first class tonight.
Inside the tech zone. Look forward to your relaxing bath emailed to you tomorrow at 10 a.m. y'all.
Bring your own pedals. It's a BYOP party tomorrow.
Right, Mike, speaking on petals and everything coming up roses. What we learn every week is how great life is for some people, and for other people, life is super good. And for some organizations, life is dandy because we've been helping them raise money. That's Elevating Connections and our friend Stacy Sanders. Stacy, thanks for joining us. I'm trying to be upbeat, Stacy, but back to school is here and life is, we need to start raising some money. So kids who are separated from their siblings by the foster care system and some various homeless youth that you're aware of through your charity work, we got to get them some tech gear and such, right? Kids are going back to school. It's going to be online, and some of the kids don't even have phones. So that's why we bring you in. We have a solution. Stacy, you know how to solve some of these things. Can you tell us about your great organization and a little bit why we're having so much success raising money for you?
Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, to be positive and upbeat, we are in fact a solution to a lot of the problems that youth in foster care experience. We work with siblings separated in foster care because that's the thing. They get removed from their homes and then they get separated for a variety of reasons. And the pandemic has made that even harder for them to connect. So we're trying to be creative in that. We're offering our summer camp this summer, which is a day camp instead of overnight, but we're being creative and pivoting because we have to in the time of COVID. We're giving an opportunity for siblings to make memories and build their relationship. And then the other piece that we do is Youth Voice and Colorado Comedy Shows, and Chuck Roy, who is my angel on earth, has helped us raise a ton of money and raise awareness for what we do. We had our 3rd annual poetry jam, then we had to pivot to virtual. And Chuck was a big part of why that was so successful. And we raised more money than we ever have. And what that means, friends, is all the money we raise right now doesn't go to salaries because none of us take a salary. We are all volunteers, including me. All of it goes to our kids, to our programming, for technology, to reunite siblings, to offer programming. So every dime you donate literally goes to the kids.
Connecting events, new tickets on the way. A $224 ticket if you want to purchase and be direct action. 224 kids last year graduated from the foster care system without a permanent home. Graduate is not the word, everybody. People transition out of foster care. 24 kids last year transitioned without a permanent home. Stacy's group is very aware of who these folks are when they have challenges such as getting their smartphone turned back on so they can have a hotspot to log into school. Stacy and her team get the resources right there. And we pass on things like customer service tips. When folks watching told us they didn't like the Zoom webinar format, they wanted Zoom video conference, we returned right back to the Zoom video meeting style, and that really helped the poetry jam become successful.
Oh my gosh.
When people give us tips on how to improve our ticketing service, that made the poetry jam successful. We came up with some really fun tickets that helped raise a shit ton of money for an important cause. So I don't mind, take a little moment out of every show to highlight the terrific work you're up to, Stacy. And just for 2 more, just another moment, can you talk about why connecting events are going to be important through the fall?
Yeah, absolutely. So the connect events we offer are for the siblings who've been separated. And since COVID doesn't seem to be going anywhere because people don't seem to want to wear a mask, we're having to get really creative. So we're going to do small connecting events where we get some siblings together for activities, community service projects, just art activities, things to get them together. And we're hoping, beyond all hope, with the help of Chuck and our community, that we can throw a really big birthday party outside in October for our siblings, because that's one thing. They don't celebrate their birthdays together. So we're working towards that, to do a safe birthday party for siblings who don't get to spend time together. And that's things we all take for granted. So
and then later, when pumpkin patches open up, we were trying to put together a hey ride because that's just going to be damn fun. So lots of fun ideas on the way to make sure we have cool connecting events. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me.
Thank you, Chuck.
So grateful. So grateful.
To reiterate that Chuck is Stacy's angel on earth.
Blah, blah, blah. It's the nice people who donate
So much
money that
left
make
that
this whole
airplanes can give
super
you.
possible. And reminder, we totally raised a shit ton.
Yep.
Gang,
Shit
Are
ton.
we driving again?
we have some shows coming up, Mike, and I bet if we turn that radio station, we might find out about some of the.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I was just checking my diabetes. But anyway, let's put what happens.
Here's more from our very fun radio announcer.
Think there's nothing to do anymore but patiently wait for the end of the world? Instead, try the ApocaLips Comedy Show. If you've got to witness Armageddon, might as well do it with some stand-up guys as they crack some wise. Hosted by local cackling quipster Chuck Roy and wisecracker Mike Langworthy. Have a gas during the world's last gasp. With the new theme each week and the finest assortment of humorists the end of the world has to offer. And if that weren't enough, VIP ticket proceeds will be donated to youth education through the Elevated Connections program. Don't miss the ApocaLips Comedy Show Sundays at 7.
Yeah!
Village Berry, ladies and gentlemen. Sundays at 7.
Your finger really went out of control there, Mike.
Oh, well, it's all right.
Totally rocked the dial. Mike, on Monday, we have the Open Mic Comedy Show, which is your show, Monday nights at 8 p.m., where we met Norman Royal, and lots of very funny.
What's that in behind the open mic? Is that the Kennedy Center Award?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, just your standard old, fun and such. And then, on Thursdays, sometimes we hang out on Instagram and get a post from our friends at Dear Comics at the Bar. So watch them on Thursday.
Lovely show.
Saturdays on Dear Comics at the Bar. We get drunk and few beers. And we also answer viewer advice questions. That's why Stacy is wearing a hat today. We all are trying to help a friend who's in love with a haberdasher.
Can I ask you a question, Chuck?
Mike, you can ask a question.
Do you do that show all by yourself?
No, I really don't, Mike.
What?
The show stars an amazing comedian who's a regular here on the ApocaLips. Folks, we're always thrilled when we can introduce you to Mr. Stephen Young.
Everybody, thank you. Can you hear me okay, Chuck?
Yeah, oh, great. Thank you.
Sure. And all the comedians tonight have been so funny. I hope you'll consider joining us for a virtual happy hour. I'm afraid we may be doing this for a while. If you told me, though, that by year 4 of the Trump administration, we'd have an extra 140,000 Americans dead, and the president would be bragging about passing his second dementia exam while his daughter was endorsing a line of canned goods on Instagram, I'd have told you, yeah, I guess that sounds about right. So I hate to be right about that. And it's interesting, the president took a second dementia exam. And I don't know if you guys know the questions on it, but one of them is honestly, can you identify and name a picture of an elephant? That's one of the questions. And the president said, hey, that's Chris Christie. And they said, that's close enough. So that was maybe mean, but that's okay. So this is a car trip show, Chuck. So you want some car material. And I don't have a great, I mean, you realize you have a really bad car when you realize that you are your car's heater. I don't know if anybody else has had that epiphany. I'm also, it's turn signal and it's wiper blades. It's like I'm a giant rack of ribs and an orange pelt away from being Fred Flintstone at this point. But I'm going to tell jokes about being in my car, at least for now. This is true. I was in my car and I'm driving past a clearing near a forest preserve, and I see this guy. And he's standing there looking at the traffic, pants down around his ankles. And this guy, I mean, he's looking at everybody and he's flogging the bishop, I guess is what I'd say. Yeah, I mean, and I get upset about it. I roll down my window. I mean, I'm indignant at this point. I said, hey, that's my spot. So you got to stand up for yourself is what I'm saying. That was horrible. Speaking of horrible, Kanye West gave his first campaign speech today. So this joke is so fresh, like if you pushed it in the stomach, it would say, ooh, you know, it's he said, and this is true, he said, this statement's not true, but he said, God will make a way for women who find themselves pregnant after an unwelcome sexual encounter. That's what he said today. And I think he's actually right, because that way will be Kanye West paying child support. That's how that's going to unfold. So do you think God has a sense of humor? Chuck, I go around and around on this. Mike, I don't know if you have a view. I mean,
I do have
I'm not sure I get it, but then I read, you know, the millionaire inventor of the Segway plunged to his death going over a cliff on a Segway. And, you know, in deity terms, that's a zinger, I guess is what I'm saying. That's a good one. Herman Cain tweeted how people are fed up with masks and they're ridiculous. 18 hours before he was admitted to an Atlanta hospital with the coronavirus after attending Trump's rally in Oklahoma. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think God's sort of finding his groove, you know? I mean, we've all had a few drinks, and so I think God's getting that sweet spot right now. You know, Chuck Woolery was decrying this hoax about COVID, and then his last tweet was, oh, my son has been diagnosed with COVID, and he deleted his Twitter account. So again, I feel like we're starting to, I get it, you know, the rule of threes, that's funny. And when it's Chuck Woolery, it's even funnier. I mean, because this is a guy, right? This is a guy who was a game show host who was so prescient to step down from Wheel of Fortune. This guy's got timing. This guy's a genius. That show's not going anywhere. I'm going to do Love Connection, you know, and I'm going to sell ointment. So fuck that guy. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. So this is true, and this happened today. I was in my car again, Chuck, and I got my wife texts me. That's how we communicate, even though we, you know, cohabitate. She texts me a shopping list, and on the shopping list is items to make fajitas, and then it says refuted beans. So it's, she wanted refuted beans. I'm thinking, well, what is it? How I'm gonna have to, like, I'm going up and down the grocery aisles, and I'm like, I'm gonna find some beans, damn it, and I'm gonna belie them. I am gonna reveal their hypocrisy. I'm gonna find some beans that have been proven to be idiotic, to be morons, and I found them. They're called Goya. So anyway, that was fucking, I'm proud of that one. That joke's only 72 hours old, but that's good. So here's a news story. And this was alarming, but true. They did a study. They do studies now. And they do a study in the average male penis size. Wait for it. 3.8 inches, according to this study.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I thought, man, thank you, Japan. But then I realized, no, Japan it'd be bigger than that. This is, what did they do? I thought, oh, they just went to the White House. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. 3.8 inches, that's too long. Then it was, oh, they must have also included Melania's. So anyway, that's pretty funny.
Oh,
No.
Bravo! Bravo!
I'm not saying the third lady has a penis. I'm not saying that, Chuck.
Not, because it sounded just like you were saying that.
I am intimating that she might. And there's a big difference on the internet, I think.
On the Supreme Court.
I am declaring that Lindsey Graham doesn't, though, if anybody cares. But anyway, so I'm running out of time, Chuck. I think, should I leave it there? Why not? You got one more comic. You guys have been great. Join Dear Comics at the bar. You're all welcome. All nice people on the internet are welcome. We're going to do a live spot this week to prepare for Saturday. Very excited about it. Thank you all for listening. I'm Stephen Young.
Awesome, Stephen Young.
Stephen Young, come on. Round of applause for Stephen Young.
Stephen Young.
How many people do you know that can come up with that many jokes about penises within the White House family. And
Right.
short notice too. And
That's
when I
it.
say short, I mean that advisedly.
Don't we just say Stephen Miller? All right.
I didn't say Stephen Miller. Oh, Stephen
Right.
Miller, small penis. Yeah, I get it.
Right. Well, I'm gonna change the channel and change it tune, my friend. It's time for us to take a bite out of this show and bring out our headliner, my friend.
Oh, that's good. Is
Right.
that a tuna or a shark? I couldn't tell.
I think that was a shark. Either way. Yes. Please, thank you for singing Baby Shark. We've had a whole lot of fun driving across the country, and we've got, shall we say, a shark of a comedy routine and a whale of a headliner, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please welcome Mr. Jake Hovis, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Hovis!
All right. Thank you. When you said a shark, I'm like, where's the whale thing coming? Okay.
He waited on purpose for that.
Oh, ridiculous. Fun. Well, I'm real big, and I'm 6'8" and well over 100 pounds. And I'm so big that a guy told me recently I don't have to wear a seatbelt anymore. Like there's no way I can make it through the windshield. Which is pretty strange advice coming from a police officer.
Right.
And I was young. I was little, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a big guy. I knew that. I thought I would be a lot more intimidating instead of like huggable. Like men just seem to want to hug me. Like I'm a walking beanbag chair. I guess they just want to feel like a little spoon. They back into me. They'll put their head on my bosom and like gently motorboat me. And they always say the same thing, like, I just feel safe. I don't know how to respond to that, so I usually say, thanks, Pastor. Well, I've always been big. I was born, 24 inches tall and 11 pounds. I was born a toddler. It's completely skipped the infant stage of development. Like my mom didn't get any congratulations, only condolences. Like, crap, man. That sucks. They had to cut me out. Anyway, grew up in a pretty normal family though, and my mom, she worked in customer service, and my dad, he was the groundskeeper at Hogwarts. But didn't really fit in at school physically. They had those wraparound desks, what I'm talking about, and it was easier for me just to wear the desk from room to room. I played football in high school, tried to fit in. I was the biggest and the slowest guy on the team, or what you would call lineman material. And the quarterback, though, he absolutely loved me. He didn't have to tell me so often. Got weird.
Must have
Wrote it in my yearbook. I don't even want to tell you about the tattoo. Like every time he'd call in a play is like 32 blast on 2. Ready? Love you, Jake. And set. So So,
44 Tramp
Uh,
Street.
24 Jump Street. I am married, and my wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I've been to Red Lobster. Like during endless shrimp, you know, where you eat so much shrimp that you start to sweat clarified butter. But she's kind of getting on my case recently. So she says, you need to get out there, you need to ride a bike, you need to get some fresh air. But I'm afraid. I'm like legitimately scared to ride a bike because the seat is only like that big, you know.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid that the bike is going to enter me. Like go inside, and I'll have to have the neighbor boy come and help yank it out. I mean, he already comes over to help my wife fold my underwear. We used to have an honor guard do it, and they would fold it in a triangle and present it to her on behalf of a grateful nation. We just moved into this new place, so here you are in what we call the den, and right on the other side of that wall is a daycare center, and right over there is a funeral home. And when we moved in, I got all existential, like we all live between a daycare and a funeral home. But you know, I'm a comedian, so sometimes I'll make fun of people, but it's over there. That's where they roast them. It's weird because like right next to the funeral home is a Papa Murphy's, you know, one of those take and bake pizzas where they sell like the raw pizzas. And I'm looking at those two places and I'm thinking, only one of them has an oven. So we, you know, live in Denver, love living in Denver, mostly because there's no humidity. That's a big thing. So I'm not really a sweaty guy. But I went to school in Virginia, and I guess that's where they keep all the humidity. It was nasty. I remember I moved like one box into the dorm room, and I'm instantly wet from head to toe. I'm completely soaked. I'm just wet and confused, like I just got off a water slide. Also had a wedgie. But the whole time I was there, my bathing suit area was moist the whole time, right? It was like the Everglades down there, you know? Monkey houses. I don't know. And my buddy is like, okay, you got to get some powder. It's all about the powder. I'm like, all right. But how do you apply it? I mean, do you use like one of those fireplace bellows? You know, you grab like a fistful of powder, lift your leg, and just throw it. I don't know, maybe like LeBron James. I came up with my own solution. I got a lasagna pan, and I filled it with powder. And then I just backed into it. I just made a really sad impression. But of course, it doesn't matter. Even if you get it in the right spots, 2 minutes outside, you start sweating, the whole thing turns to pancake batter. I had to move back to Denver to actually solve the problem, and I made lasagna because I already had the pan. I love lasagna because I love cheese, and I'm going to start a dating app for people who love cheese. I'm going to call it Craft Singles. all of the guys on the site are going to be shredded.
Hello.
Now, if I eat too much cheese, I can get a little tooty. It happens. And in that case, my wife will call me Jupiter because I'm a gas giant. And that is a very rare fart and planet joke without saying Uranus.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my coworker doesn't know my name. It's always Big Man. I don't feel bad though, because I don't know my coworker's name either. Of course, I do feel bad about calling her old French hag. Just to be clear, I have to say old French hag because the other French hag, that's Rebecca. I know her name. I think Phil's in San Francisco. Here's my San Francisco joke. I took a tour of Alcatraz, and that's way easier to escape than I expected. But you know, as soon as I stepped foot on the island, the tour guide, told me that I had a pretty mouth. We're taking the tour, and they tell us that the showers on Alcatraz, they use warm water so that if the prisoners ever escape and get into the bay, there'll be more of a shock to their system. I was like, prison showers sound nice. That's when he said, fresh meat. All right, great. Oh, I got an email of 9 different ways you can date your wife. I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I know how old she is. But it was like, do something nice for her. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take her horseback riding. I'm going to go to one of those places where you can rent a horse, But I needed to call them first because there's only so much weight that you can put on a horse before it becomes a crime. So I call them up and I say, hey, I'd like to ride one of your horses, but I'm kind of a big guy. They say, oh, don't worry about it. We've had big guys before. I say, yeah, there are big guys, and then there are guys like me. I mean, if you see me on the elevator, you take the stairs. I'm the kind of guy who can draw a bath in 40 seconds. It's like dropping a watermelon into a bowl of cereal. Ended up just giving my wife a ride.
Oh my gosh.
To the stable, and I waited in the car. Yeah. That didn't really work out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to KFC. I love KFC. They have my favorite measurement for food, buckets. And I order 2 meals, one for me, one for my wife. They gave me 1 spork. Yeah, I guess according to KFC, it's much more likely that I would eat 2 meals than I would have 1 wife. I didn't realize one of the 11 herbs and spices was judgment. All right, I'll leave you with this one. I'm a high school teacher, and earlier this semester, on my way to school, I killed a bunny.
Oh no!
Yeah. No. The one day I walk. It was ridiculous. I stopped to take a rest. I killed a bunny, broke a bench, ruined my pants. And it really shook me up because I administer the ACT, So the only thing that I'm used to killing are dreams. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Big Jake Hovis, ladies and gentlemen, let's have an enormous round of applause for him.
Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause that it will still be resonating when it reaches his circumference.
Right.
No, not right. It's funny, man. Don't just patronize me. Sorry, I got a little hostile with you. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Right. Remember, we had that meeting about yes and I was trying.
You know what, Chuck? I'm so embarrassed by that. I'm so embarrassed. I'd like you to just give us a free shot of your Kennedy Center Award, just to.
I wish, right. It's over. Those, it's just.
That's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Right. If you look, it's just below my Red Rocks green room door sign. Gosh, who leaves those lying around? Gang, this has been our virtual road trip, and we absolutely enjoyed having all of you with us.
You know what? It's been a better show even than usual. Our shows are always very good, but this one has been even better than usual.
Super fun. And if you were motivated by Elevating Connections, please give directly at their website, elevatingconnections.org. Get on the mailing list, donate some money, and get some kids back to school and connecting with their siblings. So please consider that. We have been the ApocaLips Comedy Show, and we had a shit ton of comedy stars. Can we give them all a nice round of applause, everybody? There were so many. Jake Hovis and Bill Johnson joining us all the way from San Francisco.
Bill Johnson.
Augie Doggy giving us an Augie Doggy sighting. That was terrific.
Hell yeah.
And Stephen Young. And so
we had Norman Royal. Don't forget Norman Royal.
Megan O'Neill. Thank you so much. Gang, as you find our exits, we'll continue to try and thank the 900 comedians that we had on the show. Please, as you exit, remember to keep socially distant from everyone, and as you get outside the ApocaLips Comedy Show, do note that things are getting a little tough out there. So the economy sliding down, and the neighborhood very colorful. So maybe walk in pairs, ladies. Don't walk alone. And there's all Trixie is back at work, and all sorts of friends are hanging out just outside the comedy club. There are things we know, that woman has cool moves, and my ride is here. And when you see the guy in gold, we know that it's time to say goodbye to our YouTube audience. So thanks.
Just a quick question, Chuck.
From our YouTube audience needs to go. Stick around, folks. There's a sing-along with Mike Langworthy. He doesn't know the words, but he has to lead the sing-along. So we're gonna stop the YouTube live stream. Thank you, YouTubers, but no, you can't be part of the secret.